Greetings, Rev J here. Thank you for joining me for your middle of the month reading, your Tarot by Tribe series. I'm going to be doing these just a little bit different for this mid-month of April, and just first want to thank you all for being here. This is an M for mature audiences only channel, so please only be watching it if you are a legal adult wherever you are, and if you're also okay with strong messages and language, because occasionally they are. I'm going to be doing these messages just a little bit different here for the middle of the month. I've gotten tons of inquiries, people asking me pretty similar questions or lines of questioning, and so I've been putting together a slightly different spread. I'm actually going to be doing 12 separate videos instead of my usual 4 by tribal element, where I'm going to be breaking these down using a 5-card spread, where we actually take apart what the theme is for the month. I'm only going to be using major arcana for that, so that we can get a really strong theme of what Mercury Retrograde is all about. So this is actually probably going to carry beyond the second part of April for most of y'all. This is to kind of help you get through some of the things that might be otherwise quite tricky. We're also going to cover what you're leaving in the past, what your lessons are, what you're carrying forward for a better future, what's been on your mind, mental blocks primarily, and we're also going to be looking at subconscious blocks. And so basically this is going to be like your way to hack out of anything that might otherwise be somewhat precarious and catching you at unawares during Mercury retrograde. So you might also want to check, in addition to your sun, your moon, and your rising, my Mercury retrograde survival kit. It's an 11-minute video. It's actually linked in the description box below. And also just let you know, if I have enough time this weekend, I might also be doing separate relationship readings or love readings for all y'all too. So I'm trying to get to that. It's just been really busy. I do business consulting too, and I've been in a business boot camp, and I'm like recovering from being on some antibiotics too, so it's just been a really hectic time for me. But I really appreciate all of you who've been there for me, and all of you who support my channel and share my content. Huge thanks to those of you who have ordered personal readings from me, and especially those who have sent me cash tips too. Really appreciate you guys and gals and others, and you've just made it really great for me. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of this YouTube channel, and it's been wonderful. So thanks for being there for me. I love being there for you, and I'll catch you on the inside of your reading. What's going on, Libra? Happy middle of the month to you. I'm actually recording this on Easter. Kind of an interesting day, a lot of interesting energy going on, and I will just say I recorded all of these videos a couple of days ago, and I don't know what happened, but I did them in 2 parts, one with the camera here and then one with like a handheld that I'm going to use to give you guys a view of the board once I'm finished shuffling and laying your spread down. But the copy of like this intro part where I was talking to you guys and like getting your energies ready, that part stayed on my drive, and the only video out of all the other ones that were done the exact same way that didn't make it was y'all's, where I actually did your reading. And it's kind of, I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, it is what it is that, you know, when I'm doing these readings, it's kind of like, you know, Jacob sort of checks out of the building, and like, you know, my higher self comes through making the messages and being the relay with the guides, right? And so when I come back, I can't really remember sometimes what I even read, so sometimes I'll try to go back one time and like write it down and just give myself a reference point. I can't always explain how it happens, you know, it's just like kind of what's been happening to me since I was little. I just get a message and won't always remember what I said, and then people will be like, don't you remember you just said this? I'm like, oh, that was that. Yeah, got it. So I'm not really sure what all was on your your reading. I do remember there was a lot dealing with something going on with some relationships, and there was something that looked like it might be legal going on for some. But some of the details are a little muddy, I have to be quite honest. And so, I don't know, I feel like maybe it was just heavily influenced too by this last full moon. We just had a really beautiful pink moon. It was in Libra, and we're still under that energy, and that energy probably brought up a lot with how you might be tempted to naturally interact with yourself, and just the ways that sometimes glares back in relationships with other things and people. I won't just say it's just people, it's also our relationship to how we do life, and like some of the compromises, I'll say, that we might be tempted to make. And anyway, I'm not going to try to remember all of that right now. I'm just shuffling the cards, and basically we're going to do 5 cards using the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. I'm using just the majors alone as your central theme, which is kind of going to be look mostly at what is being influenced by the Mercury retrograde that's present right now for the second part of the month here, and maybe even going forward. Hopefully it'll give a good lens of things to keep in mind that might be helpful for you. And then with the rest of the deck, we're going to be looking at 4 cards. One is going to be potential ways that you might be getting hung up in your mental sector. Another one's going to be how that might be happening in your subconscious sort of inner workings. And then we're going to take a look at what you're leaving in the past as a result of this retrograde. And then the last card's going to be bringing us some messages about what it is that you've learned and like the big lesson that's going forward, that's kind of like your spike sense for just navigating this time with some grace, hopefully, because these can be kind of tricky, weird times for people, you know. I mean, what's not weird, right? It's life. All right. So I'm just gonna lay the cards down here, and I'm going to hit the pause on this video. I'm going to grab this other camera, and I'm going to get you a shot of the spirit board. Hey Libra. Alright, so I'm just going to flip this here and let you see the spirit board. Alright, so while I was getting ready to do this, I started getting really thirsty. And I grabbed some water, and I got the image real clear of the star, like, you know, and the guy pouring the water, or the lady pouring the water, depending on which deck you're looking at. They showed me an image of a guy who was, like, you know, pouring some water. And I guess, you know, typically Aquarius is actually demonstrated as a male aspected energy. But, yeah, they were showing me that, and they were saying some of y'all, well, I was hearing somebody's really, really dehydrated, and they were saying something about, like, a need to maybe kind of look into a drinking situation. They were talking about itchy stuff on the skin and it possibly being related to drinking. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I do get some medical intuitive stuff that comes to me just because I actually died. And so I get all kinds of things that happen, but anyway, that was coming up, and they were saying there were some liver implications for some people. Now it's a really good time for cleanse and detox. They were saying definitely be drinking good quality water, more water. Some of you might be dehydrated right now. And the other message, though, and this was the big message, I just felt like I had to mention those too for some of y'all, was just that, well, there could be an Aquarius individual involved too, you know, or it's possible you're really hoping a lot and having a lot of inspiration about dreams and things that are now starting to come in a way that actually feel good to you, you know? It's like you've had time to go through all that other stuff and like sort of like redefine your relationship to past aspirations. It's like the healing of the soul. It's like becoming your own soul bridge. And I think that's what a lot of that full moon might have brought out for some of y'all. So I know I'm getting a little bit into the sort of, you know, self-philosophical side of it, but I'm hearing that that might have really been churned for many of you, and in some cases they were showing me this like star card image as I was hearing it's like the happy place, you know, that you might have like a happy place that you go to that would be really calming right now, especially as you're navigating through whatever kind of stuff comes up with Mercury retrograde, and you know, maybe just needing a place to kind of decompress and, you know, let yourself diffuse any energy that might be getting resolved from the ways that you might have attached to it as a result of the karma that you were living in the past, getting up to now as you're redefining what it's all meant. So pretty big quantum stuff, and they're saying you might have a happy place. And I was seeing a lot of water and just a need to kind of cleanse and purify. So definitely make sure that's the case. And if you're doing so, also make sure that you're getting enough quality electrolytes. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm somebody that uses a fur sauna like often. And because I sweat so much as a result of being in like that, like under infrared, it's important to not only just like drink a lot of water, but to also replenish like electrolytes. So if you're doing anything where you're trying to cleanse or detox, especially, it's important to get some good quality electrolytes. So a little bit of a tangent there, but wanted to give you guys a little bit more information. I'm sorry I'm getting to you guys last. It was I really didn't. I actually went in the order from Aries and have just been uploading them, you know, however, you know, they're coming out after being edited. And like I said, your entire reading just was like, where the heck did you go? So Mercury retrograde's been having some things to do with that, and perhaps you just needed some different messages. So hopefully this is very clear, and I hope that that was helpful for whoever needed to hear it. So go ahead and flip your cards. Central theme, focus, what you're learning, what you're taking away. Everything that this cycle is based upon is under the High Priestess energy. How beautiful. This reminds me of Libra a lot. A lot of times I see that, and like this 11 here is what it looks like to me. I mean, I know it's a Roman numeral 2, but some really fascinating implications with this coming up at this time, and the duality nature of what it means to have this energy kind of swirling around at this time. So this is also not only just such an intuitive energy that could very well be many of you right now, and how you are embodying at this time, but it could also have to do with people that you're dealing with. And I'll just say things that are on a more kind of sophisticated level of implication, because things are nuanced with the High Priestess. So it's a very beautiful energy, and for those that are dealing with the relationship within your own divinity, you know, your own divine self, that inner marriage, that cross between heaven and earth where, you know, boom, there you are, that stuff, whether it's just within you or in partnership with others, this is a very key time, and this is a lot of what was coming up with your full moon that just happened here recently. So very cool, Libra. I love this energy, and
What a beautiful opportunity to be at one with yourself. See what's on the head. They're saying that this could be the potential mental hang-ups right now, where you might be getting blocked or circumvented in yourself. And another two of Pentacles here. Fascinating. Well, this is a lot about relationships and some of the things that we're not willing to allow to rock our boat. That's how I'm hearing it. Got another two showing up here in the subconscious inner workings, and where Libra might be tempted to just block, not express freely. And it would have to do with some of the more emotional nature parts of this. I'm kind of seeing some people like walking away from rocky relationships, you know, in a very broad sense, in some cases with themselves, in other cases it's just a relationship that I'm hearing is more of a financial tether. And a lot of that could be because of how the value to the relationship within the self and how you honor that. This could be really big right now. And before I flip any other cards or pull any other messages, I'm just feeling led to mention to some of you that I did have those really strong messages around that. It looked like an Aquarian presence. It doesn't have to be an Aquarius person, but it's a healing energy that was pouring water and bringing life and nurturance to the forefront. And it's kind of interesting too, because, you know, if you see this card upside down, what would they have just done? They just would have maybe like poured whatever was in those cups out. Kind of like the Aquarius energy that I was seeing doing that. I'm getting a lot of water here. So they're saying, you know, this could be a very emotional time for some of you. And it's wise, it's sage to understand the conditions that are present before just making any decisions, especially with regard to, let's say, something that might have been a lovely relationship of some kind. It doesn't have to be romance, you know, but this is very much a soulmate style energy. This is a union coming together. This is people that are making gentle advances towards one another in some kind of way. And there's like protection here, you know, there's healing here. There's a meeting of the minds here. So there was something here. And what's good to know about it is that this is what's showing up in the subconscious, right? And so since it is emotional and it's kind of like, it might be something that's been hidden to you until now about how this relationship was in some cases valued. And the implications that has on how you value the divine relationship within. And so what I'm hearing is that for some, right now would be a really key time to try to feel into that space. I know that is not comfortable for most people, even people that are like comfortable with their feels. But they're saying it's a good time to recognize that this is clearly a block. They're saying that your potential block is basically an unwillingness to connect that, you see, because this is connection. And it's possible to say that this is connection that didn't happen in some kind of way. Something was misaligned. And so this isn't saying you're going to do it. It's just saying the temptation might be there. And that as the witness to yourself, the opportunity now is to recognize the places where, there's a block there. Maybe that has something to do with this rocky boat feeling and why this way that I've been valuing or monetizing these opposites, when I say opposites, finger quotes, all about this, trying to balance these things. Maybe this is where I get myself feeling like I'm not in a flow of some kind, right? So a lot of opportunities here to evaluate that. And this is exactly what was like coming through the channeling while I was just shuffling for you guys. I've just been hearing a lot about the way of the nature of the Libra to relate. So this is really about you. Let's see what you're leaving. 9 of Cups. So this is exactly what I was seeing. I was hearing about somebody having some liver issues, perhaps, that were showing up on the skin. I was hearing about itchy skin and an excessive drinking habit. That's not for everybody, but there's definitely some issues here for some with regard to abundant and maybe copious use of things that were allowing somebody to kind of, I'm hearing it was medicate, a lot of it was just to kind of sit on whatever was not being expressed here, it's like, that's how I'm seeing it. And they're just saying that it's like, I don't know, this can kind of be a smug energy sometimes, and the way that I'm seeing it here is it's kind of like this person that's just like, feels like they got the world by the balls, right? And they might have a lot of water in their chart too. This could very well be talking about somebody that is like in your life. It doesn't have to be you. This is an energy that's just being left. And it may express, well, so many more ways that I'm going to be able to tell you in this short video here. So, use your own good discernment and only take what applies. But I'm seeing a person here that is like, just kind of feeling like they're really in charge in some kind of way. And like, they're showing me somebody just kind of like bossy, that is a little smug, but really gets away with it because they're kind of lovely, and they kind of get away with being like that. It's just their kind of like bravado is what I'm being told. And they're just saying that person's kind of willing to like crush other people's egos in ways and still come out smelling fresh as a rose is how I'm hearing about it. And they're just showing me this person kind of like really good at it. They've got like a position for that. And I'm seeing this person being like left. And in some cases, that's what this is. It's like, that's the partnership that's being like left. What they're saying is that even if that's happening right now, this is like a time to make sure that you give yourself the proper contemplation here by valuing your own stability and groundedness in this, and finding your own emotional balance in this, and that even if this is some kind of split, because I'm seeing some kind of legal stuff going on for some of y'all too. I'm seeing her holding some kind of, I'm hearing this is a legal document here, and that she might have some information that is important right now, and that she might not need to sign anything just yet. And I'm hearing in some cases it's really wise for her to, and I don't want to say stall, but I will say utilize to her best advantage every resource she has in her hands to assure that she's not making any decisions in duress. And I'm going to encourage you, if you're not real keen on what Mercury Retrograde is all about, watch my Mercury Retrograde Survival Kit video. It's going to be linked at the end here. Because we are all under a certain kind of strain that affects our, in some cases, nervous impulses. Like literally on the body, the electromagnetic field of the body. And it might be a good time to just go to that happy place. You know, here you might have something to do with water that's really good for you. Do what you need to do. Get around that person that like nurtures you in that way, and like just hang out. Forget about, you know, anything that seems dramatic with others, you know, where you just don't want to deal with it. And focus on the details and the inner workings is what I'm being told. You know, this is somebody that's really good at that. And since communications can be a little weird right now, they're just saying, you know, you might find some peace in looking at those details that you normally don't want to face, because they're saying whatever's coming out of this, it's actually going to bring you the real happy. Because I'm being told for some of you all, it was kind of like veneer is what I'm hearing. They're saying veneer to me. I heard veneer. So let's see what's up. All right. Dig it. This is what you are bringing as a lesson. They're saying whatever was inert here before, it's like it's no longer. Something got stripped away. And it wasn't like a bad thing I'm hearing. I'm hearing it was like something needed to come out. They're saying something needed to come out. I'm seeing somebody literally like kind of pouring a drink out, honestly, and just, in one case, they're saying it was a toast to somebody who I'm hearing has been deceased, is what they're saying, and our condolences here for you, for anybody who has lost a loved one. There's never, I'm going to repeat it, there's never like an expiration date on like how grief can show up in people's life. And so sometimes this can be really weird for people that don't want to deal with feelings, because you know, they might just have a tendency to kind of want to just be like, oh, well, that happened so long ago, you know, and dismiss it. And, you know, if that's happening to you, wow, I'm really sorry, you know, that's very insensitive. Sometimes people just don't know how to deal with others and can act very inconvenienced like that. And, you know, you need a space for your grief. I'm hearing there might be a happy place that you like to go where you feel that person's energy and presence kind of blowing around you like the wind. If that's the case, I highly encourage you to take that time. And if you're one of those people that when I said that, you said, ouch, that's kind of what I do to myself, then I'm just going to say, God bless you, darling. This is a time for you to heal. That's what a lot of this is here. It's a bridge to self that you're experiencing right now. And this moon energy, it's probably pretty heavy on you for that. And so, I'm just going to put the selenite there. They're just saying now is a really good time for you to really embrace whatever it is inside yourself that helps you feel like the decisions that you're even considering, because you don't need to make any decisions right now. And this is kind of saying that, you know, the value in taking the time to do this now is what's finally going to move the situation. So if it's been feeling kind of stuck in some way, or like it's like you're kind of trying to make this decision, you're like waffling, and you know, it just hasn't been coming together, and something's been kind of blocked. It's like you haven't been able to like just get it done. It's like just giving yourself this time to be super clear on it is going to give you rest, and it's going to get you the F out of Dodge. Some of y'all need to know that, because this Eight of Wands energy is some no BS. Sometimes this is air travel. Sometimes this is communication. Sometimes this is opportunity. Sometimes this is legit falling in love, being in love, and bridging whatever that gap is that maybe was even, you know, across some water is what I'm seeing here. And so if that's the case, bless your union to yourself first, so that what you are reflecting back in the eyes of another is one that you actually feel good about. That's what this time, as a reflective place to be in yourself without making any rush decisions, is going to do for you. It's going to loosen this stuff. And they're saying that it's going to be really good. So I think that whatever you're looking for needs some time. And you deserve the time, and I will just caution about making decisions on Mercury retrograde time sometimes. And I'm not trying to spook you, just talking some real legit do, because I have been through it too. Things that sometimes get chosen and picked and done during these times get revised, redone, undone after the Mercury retrograde season has kind of passed. So it might just be a good time to, like, GTFO. You know, I don't know what you do for a living. This is a general reading, so, you know, some of y'all probably work, and hey, you know, if you gotta work, you gotta work. But if you can get away for a weekend or something, do it. If you're gonna take a trip, be real careful, you know. Electronic stuff can go weird. Sometimes packing and stuff can go weird. But I'm hearing you might have like a park or a beach or something nearby where you can just like decompress. Get away from it. You know, give yourself a self-care routine during this where you can reflect in a safe way on all the stuff that you normally like don't even want to deal with. Because they're saying that's like your key. And I'm hearing some of y'all might really benefit from a nice piece of selenite. This is a palm stone. It's like a pocket piece. Sometimes I just pack it around with me. It's like, you know, kind of like a worry stone or whatever, you know. It's a piece of selenite. And it's a really beautiful crystal that works with a lot of the more celestial energies, like some will say angelic energies. And it's also grounding somehow. It sort of like grounds the physical within that space, and I find it to be very peaceful, and you can actually use it to cleanse and clear other objects, like other crystals, you know. And I was kind of led to put that on the High Priestess here, and just, you know, do that little energy prayer with you guys and gals and others, and recommend this to anybody who might be looking for, you know, a little piece of crystal friendship to carry around with you, because they really do kind of become buddies. And I don't know, mine sort of talk to me and move and stuff. I don't know, I might be kind of weird guy, but I feel like this might be a good piece for some of y'all, so I'm highly going to recommend it. And, you know, I think that's probably all I've got right now for this reading. I hope that it was helpful for you all, Libra. Thanks for being patient, and thanks for being here on my channel. You know, I'm just getting ready to come up on my 1-year anniversary, and some of you all have been extremely generous with me, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for, you know, thumbsing me up and sharing my videos and subscribing and all that good stuff. It really makes me feel great that we've connected on a level where, you know, you valued the work that I've been putting into this. And so thank you for showing me that, because it's really meant a lot to me to even be able to bring the messages. And I appreciate you very much, and hope that this time is blessed for you. And hit me up if I can do a personal reading for you. My links are below in the description box. And if I don't hear from you, take care, God bless, and I'll see you again in a couple weeks when I'm back for your monthly reading. Bye for now.